How are you? Today is the first day I start creating content every day. I'm going to try to do this every day where I explain where I am, what I'm thinking about, what I'm working on. As you can see, the background here, the reason why I'm doing this is it's my twin boy's 10th birthday, and I haven't documented all the crazy things that I've done up to now in their lives, and I want them to understand in the future what I did and how come hopefully their life ended up awesome. But mostly because I got a lot of things that I want them to understand and remember and learn, and I want my three boys to see how hard this is. So what I'm doing right now is we're in heavy plan mode for the MetaBronx Advisory Cohort Roundtable with Village Capital, which is a huge time. I feel like this is propelling me into a direction to become a venture capitalist, or hopefully that term changes and it's not as bad as it is right now for minorities. Right now, a lot of minorities are getting investment. And MetaBronx, I created it with Philip to start helping more minorities and women get investment. But when they get the investment, a lot of times it's making it harder for them. And also, what we're seeing is companies that have gotten investment that are ran by minorities or women, they're not receiving the same benefit of the doubt as other companies that are in very similar spaces and not doing as well. So we're hoping that, this Village Capital cohort is the first situation where we start to help more and more companies grow. Because getting investment is one thing, but there's models like I went to see in Spain with Mondragon, where the companies thrive and everybody wins. The employees win, the owners win, the town wins. And that's what I want to try to create here in the Bronx. And venture capital may not work for that, right? So there needs to be some new hybrid model, and I'm thinking about it now. So today, where I'm at with all of that is Mass Ideation Holdings has been created, and it has partners. And we are working on specific companies to take equity in them and help them, right? The next piece I'm trying to build is the agency, which I've had for 10 years. But I'm going to change the agency now to be more of a cooperative model the way Mondragon is. My hope is that I can bring in the best talent in the world and give them access to equity in startups and companies that they work on. So imagine if you go to work for a company that by working for that company, you get equity in the companies that it works for. So imagine if I worked for an agency for many years where Disney was our client. Imagine if I had equity in Disney right now because I did so much work for that company. I made that company money. The company made money. Disney made money. I made money, but I'm not making money anymore. And I know by the entrance of technology and AI, eventually there may not be as much money moving around as there was when I first started and is now, and it's much less than when I started. So automation is going to take a toll on people. So I'm trying to figure out a model where we can still help the most things come to life, but at the same time, the people involved win at every level. They win during the time they're working on it because they're able to pay their bills, and they win on the back end. If they end up helping a company that grows from nothing to being $1 billion company, they have a stake in that company. And I'm really looking forward to figuring this out. I'm working on it every day. At the same time, building the agency. I scaled the agency back. Mass Ideation now is just me and a bunch of freelancers while I rethink how I can bring people in. And I have a few people that I've already spoken to, and they're willing to discuss it and figure it out with me, but I haven't figured out how it will work. And I'm talking to the people from Mondragon, talking to people from MIT, thinking it through with my partners in the holding company, and we're trying to figure out a model that works. Then the final plan is to raise a fund where we will invest in companies that we see either through services or just money. And then the agency can either be a service partner to those companies and make money that way and still get a piece of the equity we get. And that's my grand plan. The idea is there's 3 companies. There's the holding company, there's the fund, and there's the agency. And what that will do is, I believe, it will create a model where everybody who works with us makes money as long as they want to, right? My hope is to create a company where if you don't want to work this month, you don't have to. You'll make less money, sure, but maybe you don't need to make more money. Or because you've done what you've done for us for a certain amount of time, you make money going forward. Just like if I bought stock in Microsoft 30 years ago and I still own it. And that's what I want to create, some type of hybrid. And then there's this other piece that I'm really thinking about, and I did my TEDx talk about it, which is how do I involve the users of these products in the revenue split? So imagine Facebook. Imagine there was a Facebook right now where they gave you money for using it. Wouldn't you more likely use that company than Facebook? I think so, and I think we're starting to figure out how to build that. We're working on a system, we call it the abundance framework, where both sides of the coin win. The users win and the innovators win. And again, very early on, but all this is tying into everything else, and I just want to start documenting it. Right now, we're in the very early stage of the abundance framework, in the early stage of the agency, in the early stage of the holding company, in the super early stage of the fund. And I really look forward to figuring all this out and hopefully getting your help. Okay, look forward to another one of these tomorrow.